something that did have me tied up over the weekend and had me glued to
what was her name?
Glued to the tube.
Yuck.
The Drink Champs episode with Irv Gotti and Ja Rule. Shout out to Nori. Shout out to DJ EFN. Listen, man.
Get to it, man. Come on.
You know,
I'll hold back now.
I understand that we make mistakes as men. And sometimes we sit amongst each other and we say things that we shouldn't say. And, you know, it happens. But goddamn it, somebody should have pulled the plug on Irv on this one. I mean, this was some of the most cringeworthy, some of the most embarrassing, some of the most hard to watch, but you can't turn it off because you can't believe he's really digging this hole.
I'll say at no point did I want to turn this TV off.
This was some of the most, I can't believe he just said that shit I've ever watched in my life. And I didn't know if anybody else felt like that, so I started tweeting about it. I'm like, wait, this Irv Drink Champs episode is fucking crazy. And then everybody kind of like echoed my sentiments of like, yo, fam, it gets worse.
Well, I'm just a little confused. Did he have a relationship with Ashanti?
Well, I don't know if you noticed or not, Rory. Ashanti bought this watch, actually. She bought me this watch, and this is why I wore it today, because I knew we were going to talk about this. And that was the thing. It's like, Irv, listen, we love Irv. We love Ja Rule. We love Ashanti Murder Inc. We love what they did for the culture. Gave us some classic records.
Never have I seen a display of, yo, did you know I beat in my entire life?
Yeah, it was just like, I know Ashanti was like, see, this is why I had to stop fucking with this dude. I know she said it to herself.
And listen, I'll even try to put some bail in. I don't think it's wrong for two entertainers or people of notoriety.
This was a tell-all.
It wasn't the Murder Inc. story. It was the Irv and Ashanti story.
And if that like, pivoted and get out of there. Like Ja did it. Ja, we got to give Ja his flowers. Can I get one of these flowers to Ja?
For sure.
Ja, you get one of these flowers. You were an amazing wingman. You were trying. You were doing all you can do to steer that ship into another direction. But Irv
and stay mutual, because a lot of what his income now is performing with Ashanti.
He had to stay mutual because he still has a great relationship with Ashanti, and obviously Irv is his guy.
He's used to the shit though. You could tell Ja has just for the past 30 years just been like, that's Irv being Irv. I know how to handle it.
You could tell that this one was Ja like, holy shit. Like, bro, you might be going a little too crazier than I've ever seen you go before.
Nori was like, all right, well, can you tell us about what happened with Lloyd? Of course, we understand Ashanti, but let's talk about Lloyd. Irv was like, and then the guy that brought Ashanti into the label.
It was just, I think it was like, the mic wasn't even working correctly. Like, they had to readjust his mic, and he was like, yeah, like, she bought me this watch. And the first thing, and listen, this is, in no means am I intending to disrespect Ashanti here, but at that moment, I said, Ashanti got some good pussy.
That was within 5 seconds of the interview. He started the interview with, did you see my watch? It's engraved with Ashanti.
There's no way you date a girl. You're not with her for years. You sit down on one of the greatest platforms we have in the culture right now with the Drink Champs, with Nori and DJ EFN, and you go up there and talk about a woman you've dated, and not only that, you're wearing the watch that she bought you.
I mean, do you want my therapist's deep dive into that entire thing? That was probably the first time Irv had ever been left, especially at that point in his career when he was probably one of the biggest record producers out. You had a girl that you felt you put on and were entitled to everything from her. Just leave you. Because throughout the entire thing, even when he got over the relationship shit, he started getting hurt on her saying, hey, I just don't think I want to do this anymore. And to me, that was, when Irv kept asking that question and coming back, it's like, how would you feel if you put someone on, they said they no longer want to do this? You would, like, I'm like, nah, maybe I'd talk to them about why they don't want to do this shit no more.
Listen.
If that's someone you supposedly love.
To be fair, I understand.
It was ego. It was insecure. Someone finally was over his shit and left him.
But it was also, it was just so much heartbreak. Like, she broke her. Like, even the way he said he found out that she was dating Nelly.
But a lot of heartbreak.
He remembers what he was eating.
Is it heartbreak
at that moment? That's when you know you hurt.
with his wife?
Yeah. When you remember what you had for lunch when you got the news that she was dating somebody else. Oh, she hurt you, bro.
But
she
it's all
hurt
right.
you.
Is it heartbreak
It's hard.
or is it ego and entitlement? I know those are fucking buzzwords and all that shit, but everything out
What?
of love, it was his ego was so damaged and he felt so entitled to Ashanti because he had done everything for her
Yes.
that he was owed everything. So
but here's the thing: you can have inside of heartbreak, there can be some ego mixed in.
Oh, for sure. But
It
I'm
can
saying I
be-
think it was all ego. And I think it was all entitlement.
Well, yeah.
And again,
agree
I'm
with you.
just going off what Irv said.
No, we're just going
I don't
on.
know.
Well, listen, I watched the drink. Listen, first of all, if you haven't watched this yet, please stop what you're doing.
And Irv is also a great person to interview in general.
Oh God, this
He's
was
one of the best.
Listen,
He tells the best
it's
stories.
gold.
He's great.
It's podcast gold because Nori didn't even have to ask a question. Nori didn't have to ask nothing.
But that's Irv.
Nori just had to all Nori did that entire interview was confirm what Irv was saying. He's like, oh, so you mean to tell me that's what? Okay, go ahead. He was, oh, okay, go ahead. Because it was like I don't even have to act. You're gonna give me and obviously Nori and Ja and Irv have a relationship. They've known each other for years, so it's a level of comfortability there. But it was just so uncomfortable to watch that because, again, we're watching a man that you obviously, and even Nori was like, bro, you doesn't seem like you're over it. And then he asked him, he said, hey, do you watch her pictures on Instagram? And Irv was like, no, never. Nori was like, I don't believe you. Because it's like, you so hurt.
Yeah.
You still so hurt. Like, you cannot tell me that you're not still looking at her and checking on her to see how good she's looking.
For sure.
Because you're still hurt. But it was just just cringeworthy shit because it's like, bro, first of all, Shanti's not here. So we can't even get her side of the story.
And she's been pretty quiet throughout her entire career.
She's been quiet about it. She's not going to talk about it. I understand Irv saying he was mad because he felt like she jumped ship at a time where it looked like he would be going to prison. She didn't want to rep Murder Inc. no more because of that whole cloud being over them with, being investigated by the Fed. So I understand where some of Irv's bitterness and like, oh, you thought it was over and you just completely abandoned ship because
I can understand that.
I understand that part. But it was other things being said around it where I was like, she broke him in half. She broke Irv Gotti.
He said, get Ashanti up here so she can lie about us being in a relationship. Like, Irv, why do you need everyone to know that y'all fucked?
Yeah, it was like it was just.
And by the way, Ashanti doesn't owe us or you to tell us that you guys dated.
Not at all. Not at all.
Like, why do we need to get Ashanti up here to say, yo, yeah, I slept with Irv?
It's always awkward when the woman that you're talking about is not present when you're talking about her in the room, especially with nothing but men in the room. We have a woman here. Damaris, how did that make you feel watching that? If you watched it.
Well, everybody knows that he's just hurt. Like you said, it's hurt. And I just feel like if y'all were dating when you were married,
he said, no. He said they were not married. They weren't together. He said they were separated. They weren't even living together. He said, don't try to put that on Ashanti. He said it was 3 other girls that broke his marriage up, I guess.
He looks hurt. I'm sure she's fine. She's on vacation literally every 3 days.
No, she actually had a show with the gentleman that she left Irv for. Nelly and Ashanti had a show this weekend. I'm not sure where they were. I just thought that was...
Was that purposeful? Did she bring Nelly out or it was a Nelly and Ashanti show?
I believe it was a Nelly and Ashanti show.
Oh, so maybe that was just good timing, but...
Great timing.
No, you can't time that. That's God. That's on God's watch. Yeah, only God has that time. That type of timing is only God.
I also feel for Ashanti too. Like, what if she's in a happy relationship right now?
That's always the thing. It's like you talking about this woman and your relationship with her, and she's so far removed from that. She's happy, maybe has a loving relationship.
Dude already has to stomach that you're doing shows with your ex, but at least it's for money. You guys are in a healthy place. I wouldn't hate on that. Go ahead.
Yeah.
I might even sing along to Dilemma if you're doing Kelly Rowland's part. But then you got Irv talk. And again, I don't know if Ashanti's in a relationship, nor do I fucking care. But I do think about those things when people bring up shit from 20 years ago. Like, yo, they happy. Like, they moved on. Why are we
it was
doing 2 hours about how you guys had sex before?
And I know that, Irv is saying he's being truthful and, he's not up here to lie. And I get it. But still, man,
There's a difference between honesty and
it was bad. It was bad.
just volunteering information that
it was bad.
we didn't really need.
Yeah, it was bad. And I hope
Because we mask honesty a lot with bullshit. That goes back to some of our toxic definition
mask
shit.
honesty.
And I don't want to get into that.
All kind of shit.
But just because you're being honest doesn't mean you're saying things that shouldn't be said.
Yeah.
Everything honest doesn't need to be told to the world.
It doesn't need to be said. I agree.
So no, we're not calling you a liar, Irv. We're just saying, why are you volunteering this information?
On the flip side of all of that, this episode was entertaining. It was funny. I laughed till I almost threw up. I was so high watching this shit.
I'm definitely watching the Murder Inc. I was anyways, but this was good promotion. Irv
this was great promotion.
I'm watching now.
You have to watch the documentary. The documentary is because he kept saying all of this is on the doc. So now it's like, okay, we get this again in documentary form.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta watch it.
Also, just to end with actually some positive shit. When you're saying give Ja his flowers, I want to give Irv and Ja's relationship flowers. That's very rare to see, especially from that era. Two people still being best friends.
Yeah.
Especially all the bullshit that they all went through.
Yeah.
And even with this Ashanti thing, which puts Ja in a weird place.
Mm-hmm.
I do love that Ja and Irv are still just as close as they always were.
It's always good to see people make a lot of money together when they're young and then they grow old and they're still, still compadres, still friends. It's always good to see that. That's why I just, salute to Irv and Ja and the whole Murder Inc. thing. But this Drink Champs episode was fucking insane. It was entertaining. Shout out to Nori. Shout out. Unfortunately for Ashanti, her business is out there and things like that and, whatever. But for just as far as a listener and somebody just watching, this was entertaining.
Ashanti, if you want to come on this podcast and not mention Irv's name just as a response, silence being the response.
Yeah.
Come on, we'll talk about something else.
More than welcome. Come sit on the couch.
If you guys were to go on Drink Champs and they got you really drunk, what would be your embarrassing secret that you would let out?
Is that a segment? I'm a fan of Drink Champs. I don't remember that segment.
Oh, so
I watch almost every episode.
I think what she's asking is if we were to sit there and get drunk and, obviously in drinking you get intoxicated, what would be something that we might slip up and say that we probably would regret?
But yeah.
Listen, I've been on Drink Champs twice.
Oh, excuse me.
So I think I'm
bad.
Who else has been on there twice? I don't even know.
Big roar.
I did go on Drink Champs and tell them their numbers were fake.
That's sick. Yeah, I don't know.
I love Nori.
I don't know. I don't have any. Fortunately, I don't have any like those type of skeletons that are just like if I said something, it's like holy shit, like word, like I don't have any of that. So I mean, it'd probably be. I would probably say something that listening back, I'd be like, damn, I wish I didn't say that, but it wouldn't be nothing too crazy.
Well, I mean, I've been talking with Nori a lot. He doesn't want us to go up there.
No, I can't wait to sit down and talk and kick it with Nori. That's family, man.
Just talking to Nori over the weekend. That's my guy. We should go up there soon.
Yeah. So shout out to.
Do you have an ex? Maybe we could air out.
Oh God, no. Shout out to the Drink Champs. Shout out to Nori, DJ EFN.
You want some bodies you want to claim?
Nah, man. I'm not. I would never do no shit like that. You would have to inject me with fucking not respond and say anything and just like continue to act like she didn't even hear that. She doesn't need to talk about, unless she wants to come talk about it with us. Actually, in that case, we'll make it a comfortable environment for her to share her piece, and we'll console her through her, trauma of being outed. Is that what they call it? Outed?
I just want to see you like on your Oprah interview shit. Like, tell me, Ashanti, when was the first time you met Irving?
Yeah, I would definitely. I would have the right questions for Ashanti because I already know what the answers are. I broke his heart. We saw it. There was nothing to talk about. Like Irv is heartbroken. And then he said something that was really crazy. He said, oh, nah, I was sitting next to, when I was watching that shit, I was sitting next to, I had a 20-something-year-old. I was like, you wasn't supposed to say that.
Yeah. Probably called her a bitch, too.
I said, Irv, no.
This isn't helping your case. Not helping your case.
You were not supposed to say, it just got bad.
No worry and